Hi, here from Diane, and this week I'm going to show you how to make this. It's called a half cracker box. It's a nice size. It measures, let's see, 5 inches tall in all, and it is 2 inches wide, so 2 inches square. It's a nice size, and it will hold, I haven't tied that around, a nice little bottle of bath and shower gel, which is yummy. This is raspberry and pomegranate, so that should smell very nice, I'm sure. Now, all the ones I've seen don't have a lid on them. They just come around like this and that's it. And I just thought, you know what, I don't want that. I want a lid on mine. So I have made a lid to fit mine like so. So I'm going to show you how I made my version. So here we go. You will need a piece of card that measures 9 inches by 7.5, and a piece for your lid that measures 2 3/8 by 2 3/8, and another piece for your lid, for the inner part of your lid, that measures 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, which might be just a tiny bit too big. We might have to trim that down, not sure. Okay, then you'll need 4 pieces of designer series paper that measure 3 1/4 by 1 3/4, and 4 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. Now, if you've got a direction on your paper, make sure that they match each other. Okay, so, and then you'll just need a bit of scrap for your message on the front. So I've used those. They are from this tag punch, which I don't know what it's called because I haven't written on the side of it yet. So I'll pop that on the side. When I find out, I will put it into the directions, the comments down below. And this one comes from the Here's All That set. There's this round one here. Oops, sorry. This round one here. So I just thought it was quite pretty, so that's what I'm going to be using. I have some nice red ribbon here and some red ink, and I'm going to use out of this old set, Thinking of You at Christmas. And that's all the bits we're going to be using. Okay, so let's pop that up there and let's go through this. I'm going to score my lid on the long side at 2 1/8 on all 4 sides. Now I can't even find my tool. Here it is. 2 1/8 on all 4 sides. 2 1/8, 2 1/8, 2 1/8, and 2 1/8. Pop that on one side, and we're going to score this on the long side, and we're going to score this on the 9-inch side at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches. We're going to turn it to the short side, and now we're going to score this at 2 inches, 5.5 inches. I'm going to turn it over and score this at, oh, let's put it up. Paper, look at that. It's got, oh no, it's just something sitting on it. I thought it was a marker. At 6 inches, turn it back over, and we're going to score this at 6.5 inches. Okay. So then we're going to, before we get any further, we're going to turn this piece of the lid with that we've scored over, and on the back we're going to draw a cross from corner to corner. You can see I've already done mine from corner to corner, and then with a hole punch, which I can't get my hole punch to go up that far. I don't think it will go any further back. So I can't fit that in there because it won't go into the centre unless I turn that under. There's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that before? And then I can pop that in there and line up that hole, which I've put a hole right in the middle. There you go. Right in the middle of my piece. So this piece here we're going to just fold and burnish as well. So we might as well start with this piece. Get this bit out of the way. Okay, so with this one we're just going to cut up to the first score line and notch it in. Turn it, cut up to the first score line and notch it in. Whoops. Turn it, cut up to the first score line and notch it in. Cut it, notch into the first score line. Now we're doing this piece out of the way first because it's fiddly, we might as well get the fiddly bit done first. So we're just going to put some glue onto these tiny little tabs, and we're going to bring our lid around and form like a box shape. This will give this time to dry because of the rest of what we've got to do with it. Because we want it to be nice and dry to be able to use. So once we've done that, we can pop that onto one side and leave that to dry nice and tightly like so. Okay, so that's our lid part. This is our inner part, which I think this inner part I've made a little bit too big. So we will have a look at that in a moment. So let me just show you how that would fit in there. So this will fit in here like so, into the centre. Oops. I don't want to pop that out, do we? Oh, come on, get in there. So that's how that will go. Either that or I've cut that piece too small. Either way, we've got the measurements right. Okay, so now with this piece here like this, we're going to, this line here in the middle is where we are going to put a mark along here. So we're going to mark in on that middle line there at a 1/2 inch. Just put a dot, a 1/2 inch, and a 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, all the way along either side of your score lines. Along that line there. So I'll get right to the end. You could do that one and then just go an inch there. And the same on the very end here too. Okay, so we have right along that middle score line of those two, we've got dots at every 1/2 inch either side of the score, the horizontal, yeah, the vertical score lines. So either side of the vertical score lines. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually fold and burnish this over the long on the short side only for the moment. Okay, well, while we've got that done like that, we're now going to close this up, and then from this score line here up to that dot and then back up to here, we're going to cut a triangle. Now the reason I did it on both sides of the one is so that if you're left or right handed, it doesn't really make any difference. Close the next one up and do exactly the same again. Cut up to that dot that you made on that line and cut it out. Fold it over again. Fold it out. And again. And cut that piece out. And one more. This one here is just flat, so we're going to cut that one on the flat, like so. So we have our piece like this. Now we need our eraser, which I didn't bring over here. Let me just pop and get it. with all the stuff to bring, and I left it over there. And we're just going to remove those pencil marks if they're showing. Come on, move. Okay, so that's all our pencil marks removed now. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to remove this small section on the end, on this tab end, and just wedge it in. Now for me, I need to just cut up a little bit longer because I need to make sure that I've got my score line gone, and I didn't make sure. Okay, so then we're going to cut up the bottoms on all 4 of these. Like so. And that's all our cutting and scoring done. Now I think that this is going to be too small for this, so I'm going to actually measure this across here, and it is 1 7/8. But I think I must have cut this a bit bigger, so let's have a look. I did cut this a bit too big. It should have been that 1 mark just below it. So let's do that. I don't know if I need to do it on all 4 sides or just 2. Let's see. No, all 4. Oops, I've done it on that side. I've done it on that side. Chop it off. So it will fit. There we go. I will make sure that the measurements are absolutely 100% correct from the rest of that project. Okay, so now we're going to do all our other folding, which is to bring these up and making sure that they are nice and square in each one of these. This one needs to have that score line cut off of it, otherwise it will bulge funny. That's better. Okay, then we're going to fold this bottom one as a mountain fold. Making sure that it's lined up. The line through the middle of the cut lines as a valley fold. Once again, making sure that it lines up, and then folding the top one back. Again, making sure that it's folded as a mountain fold. And that's all of our folding done. We're now going to bring in our pieces of designer series paper, and we're going to pop these on all the pieces, all the rectangles, not squares. Now if I've got one that matches, I guess I could put it on there, but it doesn't matter. I don't think they actually match completely. Pop these all onto these, all nice and neatly. This is quite a quick and easy project really. It's just me that mucked up with my measurements somewhere along the line. And then these small bits are going to go across the top here. I must admit, when I was working, I would have made lots of these sort of things because I would have taken them into work for the ladies that I work with. And altogether there was 9 of us. So, but as I'm not working anymore, I don't seem to make as many. So that's our part of our box done. We're now going to pop some glue on this section here. Now we've made that big enough because we want to make sure it's sturdy. So we're going to pop glue right down this side, along this piece here, and this bit here, so that it all comes across on top of it, like so, and matches up. Let me put the lid in my glue, because I don't need that, ouch, in the glue, not my finger, for a while. And it's a warm day out there again today. We're having some warm days again at last. Woohoo! Okay, so that's our box. You know that that is the back because that's where the join is. So this is the front. So the join's on the back. So we're going to turn this upside down and we're going to pull in our sides. And I did put the lid on the glue prematurely. And we're going to pop a little bit of glue onto the one. Pull the other side over. A little bit more glue onto this one. And making sure that now I bring my back in, which is this one. And then a fair bit of glue onto this piece here, so that it glues down nice and tight over on top. And pop our bone folder on the inside there, so that we can then pop our box. And then when we push it down like this, it's going to go around. Isn't that gorgeous? So what we're going to do next is we're going to do a little bit of fixing up our lid. So this bit now fits inside here. Well, it should do. If it doesn't, we've really muffed up, haven't we? I might just trim a tiny little bit off this end. This looks like this end is the one end that I didn't trim. There we go. That fits in there beautifully. So we don't want it in there at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of ribbon, approximately 6 inches long. So I don't know how long 6 inches is in millimeters. It's about 15 centimeters long. So let's cut a piece off about 15 centimeters. And what we're going to do is we're going to poke this through our box lid. So where's my pokey tool? No, and that's not the one I want. I want one of these with the knob on the end. Pop that through, and then we'll pop the other side through as well. That's it. So that we've got a bit of on each side. And when you're happy with the length, if that's too long, you can always take it down and cut a bit off. So I'm going to cut a little bit off the ends of this anyway, like so. And then I'm going to use some sticky tape just to glue that down on the inside of the box lid. So now that my box lid ribbon is sticking out the top, I can then pop glue over this piece here, which is my inner piece, and cover it up. So popping that down nice and tightly inside. Like so. Okie dokie, let's pop the pin back in my glue, if I can find the end, and we can pop that around and inside our box, like so. That's our lid fitting in there. So now we're going to do a little bit of stamping, and I have some real red ink here, and I'm going to stamp Thinking of You at Christmas. Right in the centre there, like so. and then just going to glue that. Keep putting the pin in there before a bit prematurely today. Glue this to this piece here like so. Pin in, no more pinning, no more gluing. Please, no more gluing. Okay. We'll bring our box in. Now the lid is not tight. If you want it tighter, you can adjust the sizing. So I'll pop that out for a minute so that I make sure I get the back of this here. A couple of dimensionals onto the back of this. Like so. Pop this onto the front of the box. Add my little whatever gem I'm going to put on this, which is just one of these ones I've got here. Then I can pop my lid on the box and my ribbon around, which is about 16 inches, which is, I've got no idea, we know that 10 inches is 26 and 6 inches makes it about 40 centimetres, about 40 centimetres approximately. So I might cut it just a tiny bit longer to be on the safe side. Bring this in, wrap it around our box, and until you're ready to tie it in a bow, just tie it in a quick little knot so that you can pop the box on one side until you're ready to pop in there whatever you want. So, this box here fell over and went inside itself like so. But this box here, let's see if this lid is bigger. No, same size. Oh, I don't know. I will sit down and work out what I did with the wrong size here, and I will write you the right sizes down the bottom in the comments section. So there's our box. Let's hope you've enjoyed it, even with me muffing up. Oops. It isn't a tight fitting lid. It's not meant to be a tight fitting lid. It's supposed to be just so that it covers up what's in there. So if you've enjoyed today's project, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, give me a thumbs down. I know I've been a bit of a mess with this one today. But yeah, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like the written tutorial for this, you will find it on Di's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. You will find the link down below here. The tutorial go live at the same day as the YouTube video. So I'd love to hear from you. Tell me if you've had a bit of a laugh with me messing around. I don't mind. Okay, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.